Hey, what is going on, everybody? Ninja here, and today we're back at it again with a Dragon Ball video. Now, today's Dragon Ball video is going to be talking about Dragon Ball characters. Now, Dragon Ball characters, a lot of them are so beloved by fans. This is because ever since we were little kids, these characters always appeared, and here they are in Super. They're still returning and making consistent debuts. These characters in Dragon Ball, people love them so much because they've been in the series so long that they've been building up for so many arcs, and we've grown accustomed to loving them so much. These include characters like Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Bulma, and many others. However, with these characters' great executed potential, there's also a fair amount of characters with great potential like them, but it wasn't executed as nicely. And that's what a wasted character is. And that's what we'll be talking about in today's video. The most wasted characters in Dragon Ball. So let's get right into it. Alright, so one wasted character in Dragon Ball that comes to mind is Colonial Violet from the original Dragon Ball and the Red Ribbon Army saga. Violet didn't have much of a role in the original Dragon Ball. In fact, in the manga, she only had 2 panels worth of appearances. But then in the anime, they gave her a slightly bigger role, but it wasn't even that impressive. In the manga and the anime, her debut, she works with a few Red Ribbon Army soldiers to get the Dragon Ball. However, we see that she has a little bit of an interesting personality, that she's willing to sacrifice one of her own soldiers to take down the enemy and to get the Dragon Ball. Like, it just goes to show how ruthless she is, and even though we got to see that, that was all we really saw. In fact, the only other appearance that we saw of her, anime exclusive, was when she ran off and grabbed a bunch of the Red Ribbon Army valuables when they were being attacked, and then that's it. She just cowered it out like that. There wasn't anything else impressive. We didn't get to see the ruthless side that was very interesting. It would have been nice if she got more potential and more like execution as someone like Commander Black, Commander Red, General Blue, or someone like that who got a little more screen time and got to be developed a little more as a character. In fact, she's the only female confirmed Red Ribbon Army soldier, and that'll be really interesting to see. My next wasted Dragon Ball character has to be Raddatz from the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball Z. Now, this is a very commonly talked one about how Raddatz was a wasted character. When Raddatz was first introduced, we were like, wait a minute, Goku has a brother? A brother who also tells him that he's an alien from another race this whole time? What? We never knew this. Like, it was very, very interesting that Raddatz was this new variation of a villain like we've never seen before, and it gave us a new breath of fresh air in the Dragon Ball series. And if for people like me or whoever else who like watched Dragon Ball first, it was really fascinating to see, like, you know, all this going on. Like, what, all this time we thought Goku was a human? Nope, he's a Saiyan. And it's just where Raddatz, he is the brother of Goku. Crazy. The brother of the hero is a complete rivalry, mini rivalry type thing. You think it would be very interesting and well built upon, right? Well, no, they didn't even develop into the little relationship between Goku and Raddatz that much. About how the thing is, like, they refuse to admit the fact that Goku is the real brother of this monster, villain, or whatever. That idea was barely built upon. All we saw of Raddatz was he died in the first 5 episodes and only played like a somewhat played a part in Goku's sacrifice, but that was it. We didn't really see much of him. It was quite a wasted character in my honest opinion. It would have been nice if we at least got to see 10 episodes of this character, building up with the relations with Goku a little more, but hey, what are you gonna do? The next wasted character on my list is Burter from the Frieza saga of Dragon Ball Z. Burter was his big title and his big thing going from with, I am the fastest in the universe. And when you think of fastest in the universe, you're like, what? He must be really crazy quick, and I doubt Goku can even catch up to him. Oh, he just gets one-shotted that easily and gets defeated so quickly. In fact, he becomes probably the most useless in a way and the least developed out of anyone in the Ginyu Force. And it just hurts to see, like, this cool idea not even being built upon. Like, it would have been nice if Goku got, like, a little bit of a challenge, hard to keep up with this guy and Jace and everything. But no, Burter just had to be, like, this pushed around character that didn't even have a purpose. And at the end of the day, he was never even remembered or cared for again. Even in the Dragon Ball fandom of all things, it really does stink to see this cool concept of the fastest in the universe go to waste. But hey, what are you gonna do? The next thing I have on my list is King Cold from pretty much that Future Trunks saga of Dragon Ball Z. King Cold was such an interesting concept that you think, oh wow, this Frieza guy really does mean business. What? Frieza has a father and they're coming back together? That's crazy. How are they gonna stop it like this? And we're like, whoa, Frieza, King Cold must really be intimidating. And then the same event happened. Future Trunks had to just appear out of nowhere and just kill them both. Slice them, dice them, essentially. And it did really distinct. We didn't get to see the nice development between Mecha Frieza and King Cold, the dope return, how scared the Z Fighters will be, like seeing that they have no chance against these two and they really need to work together, and stuff like, come on. That would have been a dope concept. In fact, actually, that concept did technically happen in the alternate timeline of Future Trunks' timeline stuff. But the thing is about that one, we never got to see that actually happen. So we never even got to see King Cold be the badassery that he is, or see the new power of Mecha Frieza or whatever. Like King Cold, it's stated that he's actually just as strong as Frieza, if not stronger. And we didn't even get to care for him. And in Resurrection F, he wasn't even mentioned or anything like that. It's kind of sad, really. Another wasted Dragon Ball character that comes to mind is Dabura from the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z. Dabura, in my honest opinion, could have been so dope. Like, his design is very, very well made, starting from the top, and then you hear the title that he's actually the Demon King himself. This time, he's not like King Piccolo, where sure, it's just the Demon King, like a regular title. No, this time, he means business. He's literally from the depths of hell himself, and you know this guy is serious. He looks intimidating, he sounds intimidating, and he acts so intimidating as well. He's around Super Perfect Cell's power level, and he did show up a pretty good adversary against fighting everyone, and he showed one very unique skill, that when he spits on you, you turn into stone. That was an interesting feature right there. And guess what? That was only shown for like a couple of episodes, and then he was just turned into a cookie by Majin Buu. All he was essentially was like a placeholder henchman for Babidi and for the Majin Buu saga. Like, really, that's all he had. It would have been nice to see him build up a little more, get a little more screen time with like the Demon King idea and stuff. Like, sure, we got TOEI and Xenoverse 2, but that's the sister, not the brother, or the full Dabura thing. Like, he did get to appear again in Dragon Ball Heroes, which was dope. Let me tell you, that was dope. But in the original canon series, he never once appeared again, aside from like maybe one or two scenes. But that was it. We never got to see the Demon King fully fledged out like he should have been, honestly. The next wasted character in Dragon Ball has to be Oob from the end of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT, pretty much. Now, Oob, he was essentially implied to be the successor of Goku. The guy Goku spent all his time, 10 years, leaving his family and everything to go train with this little boy. Now, a lot of people hated this and I didn't like it at all, but I'm like, okay, you know, maybe this kid really is something special. Okay, he really is Goku's successor. That's why Goku sees potential in him. And sure, when he fused with Majin Buu in the Baby Saga and everything, that was dope, let me tell you. Like, he got to see we got a little bit of that Oob action. He was a very interesting, fun, likable character. And then that amounted to nothing, because he did absolutely nothing and wasn't remembered, because guess what? GT Goku time, am I right? Yeah, it would have been so nice to see Oob literally take on that title of Goku's successor and set the bar for the new generation of Dragon Ball fighters, but nah, he was just like pushed around to the side, not even remembered, not even cared for once again. Like, he would have wasted, like, that ending is essentially pointless. Goku just leaving for the purpose of nothing, essentially. And finally, my most wasted character in Dragon Ball, in my honest opinion, my last pick is going to be Omega Shenron. Omega Shenron. When you think of the final villain of Dragon Ball, doesn't the concept of an idea of the one villain, the final villain is the one they trusted the most, the one they always relied on for all their, like, you know, basic, for them getting stronger with their Zenkai boosts and everything, Shenron, and the Dragon Balls and everything, and to see that, their ultimate ally, finally be their ultimate enemy, that's such a dope concept. And guess what, that's pretty much the thing with the Shadow Dragons, and if only it was executed like that. You see, we did get to see a little bit of that interesting side with Nova Shenron, him revolting on it, being like that the 4-star dragon with Goku's care of the 4-star ball. That was a very interesting concept, well executed. And with Ice Shenron, it kind of goes back and forth with his brother, like the little dynamic of opposites. That's an interesting feature right there, so I let that one slide. However, if you include something like, let's say, Omega Shenron, that's probably not really an excuse, because with Omega Shenron, you're left with a guy who just is evil for the sake of being evil, just needs to defeat his enemy, and doesn't even bring up the idea of like, yo, I've always been having to, you know, revolt against you, I've always been helping you guys, but it's all your greed that was pushing you back or whatever, or something like that. We didn't even get to see that little motivation, we just saw him evil for the sake of being evil, boring, blah 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 personality, and that awesome potential amounted to nothing if that execution was garbage, like a good portion of GT. So that's just been my little video for today, talking about the most wasted characters in Dragon Ball in my honest opinion. Again guys, this is just my opinion, so if you agree or disagree, I'd like to hear everyone's input in the comments down below. And before someone asks in the comments down below, I know someone's gonna say it, why didn't you include so-and-so character, so-and-so character? Well, the thing is, I probably did have that character in mind, but the thing is, they're probably coming from Dragon Ball Super. And in Dragon Ball Super, essentially, Dragon Ball Super is an ongoing show right now, so you never know what could happen. Listen, if a female Broly can automatically just be kind of canonized or whatever, then anything could happen at this point, who knows. But anyways guys, thanks so much for watching, Ninja. Oh, peace everybody.